Hey everybody, Keith Williams here with a shot of country. Yeah, we're going to have a shot of the Outlaws tonight. Waylon, Willie, Tompall Glaser, and Jessi Colter, Waylon Jennings' wife, of course. This album came out in 1976 and started a movement. If you were around at that time, like I was 11 years old at the time, but it was still, it made quite an impact on me. The outlaw movement in Nashville that changed country music forever, okay, and started a whole new trend of country music that a lot of us still, know and love today. Now, some of that has gone by the wayside now with the newer country, but there's a few outlaws still in mainstream country today. But man, it brought on so many, with Waylon and Willie, and there was just so many people that jumped into that. Of course, Hank Jr. and he he had started years before that, but he changed his look and style and everything as well, and just there was just so many people that really loved that kind of music, that raw, that renegade kind of music. Waylon refused to do music Nashville's way. Him and Chet Atkins, kind of at each other a lot because they just, didn't see eye to eye on how music ought to be done. Waylon wanted more input. He wanted to write songs the way, he wanted to do them. He wanted to sing the songs that he wanted, and instead of having the record executives, RCA. He was on their label at that time. Have all those executives making the choices for the songs that he was singing. He wanted to do things his way. And of course, if you remember years ago, him and Willie both, they were pretty clean cut. Hank Jr. as well. They had a short haircut. They didn't wear cowboy hats. No beard, no facial hair whatsoever. None of them. And then, later on, and this album, 1976, the Outlaws, man, they had the beard and the long hair, and all that, the cowboy hats, wearing jeans and just, no more wearing suits and things like that. They changed things up, started wearing, jeans and cowboy boots and Western shirts or sometimes T-shirts, whatever, just changed things up. I never really saw Waylon so much in a T-shirt. Seen Willie and Hank Jr. in T-shirts, but Waylon pretty much kept up with a button-up shirt type thing and a vest, but he just had that outlaw look about him, and so this album kind of started that whole thing. And what an awesome album it was. Give us some awesome songs. I believe there's 11 songs on here total, and of course one y'all remember now. Waylon did this song prior to this album on another album. Matter of fact, there's an album called Good Hearted Woman that Waylon did by himself back when he was clean shaven, clean cut look and all that, and an awesome song. But when him and Willie did it, and of course this is a live version, okay, that they did together. I'm pretty sure this is a live version, yeah. And they did together, and it was just awesome, okay. And it really just made the song, having Willie come in there and Waylon hollered out, "Hey Willie," and he jumped in there and sang the second verse, and then of course sang harmony with him on the verses and everything. And then, of course, having Jessi Colter, maybe a lot of us didn't know who Jessi was at the time, and she's got that kind of outlaw look as well, for a girl. But man, her voice is just awesome, and singing with Waylon on some of those songs and everything. But anyway, just an awesome album. If you don't have this album, I recommend you get the album or get the CD or something. I'm pretty sure we probably had the 8-track when I was a kid that we used to listen to in the car. And if we didn't have an 8-track, we recorded on the 8-tracks. We had an 8-track recorder that came out at some point in time in the 70s. But anyway, I wanted to read some of these to you here and just tell you what's on this album here. Okay, my heroes have always been cowboys, done by Waylon. Honky Tonk Heroes. Awesome song there, Waylon. I'm looking for Blue Eyes. That's by Jessi. You Mean to Say by Jessi. I don't remember as much about that one. Suspicious Minds, awesome rendition by Waylon and Jessi, doing a duet there. And then, of course, Good Hearted Woman, Waylon and Willie on side B. Heaven or Hell, Waylon and Willie. Me and Paul by Willie. Yesterday's Wine by Willie. I'd forgotten actually that he did that because I remember Merle Haggard and George Jones' rendition of that. And I forgot about Willie's version there. So anyway, I'm not sure. He may have wrote that one. I'm not sure on that. T for Texas. Tompall did that one. If you got the Waylon Live album, Waylon did T for Texas on that. Opened up with T for Texas on the Waylon Live album. And then Put Another Log on the Fire by Tompall. Okay. So I'll show you the back of this too. It's such a cool album cover. You know, I've got this is an extra one of mine, so I have one on the wall down here that I enjoy looking at as I come into my studio, my man cave down here, and so I've got a copy of that on the wall. But just an awesome album. This like I said, if you haven't heard it, you need to hear it. If you're into country music and you haven't heard this one, maybe you're a young person or somehow you missed this one. I'm not sure if you were around at that time. I'm not sure how you missed it, but if you have missed it, please get this one. You know, listen to this. You can of course download it. I don't download a lot of stuff. I'm still kind of old school. I mean, I like to listen to stuff on my phone as a convenience when I'm out and about, and that's all I've got. The option to do. But when I'm at home, I want to put on a record. Play some vinyl, or I want a CD. I want to listen to the CD. I get a little lazy sometimes, just want to listen to CDs because I got a remote. I don't have to get up, and I can go from one CD to the next and have a little playlist that I do. But there's nothing like the original vinyl and putting that on a turntable and setting that needle on that thing and hearing a little popping and cracking, even little scratches there a little bit, because all my albums got scratches on them that especially ones I had back at that time. We played them back then. We didn't try to take care of them. I mean, we didn't abuse them, but we back then, of course, you would stack them. The albums or the 45s. Okay, the 7-inch records and the singles, and you stack. I'm not sure how many at a time, but I know with albums, you could stack a few of those at a time. And of course, when the album dropped on the other album, where it was on the turntable, it was fine. But when the next album, the second album, dropped down on that first album, it's spinning, and it's going to scratch them up. Okay. And then the next one on top of that, and so on and so forth. Same way with the 45s. A lot of times we threw away the sleeves, especially the 45s. I had a 45 holder that, just stacked up 45s. You had to take them out of the sleeves, and it was just it just had a little pole there, and you slipped them down through the hole, and slipped that down through the hole and stacked them up, and it held several 45s. But of course, like I say, they were rubbing up against each other, and you sort through them and this and that and scratch them all up. And so they all had a little bit of hiss to them, a little bit of scratchiness, even as the needles and the turntables evolved and got better and better. There was still some scratchiness, but that kind of adds to the to the vintage sound and everything. And if you've got a vintage stereo, I highly recommend listening to them on that. If you've got an old 70s or 80s style turntable and receiver and speakers, man, be sure and do that. Take advantage of that deal. But anyway, I wanted to share this album with you tonight here on A Shot of Country, and we're going to be reviewing albums and reviewing. If I don't have the album, I'll review the CD. We may review a single, a 45 or whatever. I've got some that are on cassette. I've got some that's on 8-track, So I want to review these and share them with you because, they're here in my basement and I don't get to share them with anybody. So I want to share them with you all, okay? People that appreciate old country. And of course, I've got some old rock and too. It's not like I'm just country only, but but the majority of mine are country albums, and that's kind of what my roots were growing up. And my dad played guitar. I play guitar. You can check out my channel, Fretmore Guitar Lessons, where I teach guitar lessons and stuff out there, and do a lot of old country stuff, old classic country. And so anyway, I just wanted to start sharing these albums with you. I wanted to share this one because this was one of my favorite albums of all time. As I say, I've got it on my wall. I've just got a select few on my wall. Of course, some of them I didn't have duplicates. I didn't want to put my original, if I only had one copy, I didn't want to put those on the wall because they do tend to fade a little bit, over time. And everything, but anyway, the ones I had copies of, and this was one of those that I had copies of, and I always loved the album cover too. It's just a perfect one to hang up on the wall because it looks like a one poster anyway, and so it was made to put in a frame or some kind of a way of hanging it, setting it on the wall and displaying it. And so anyway, I appreciate y'all tuning in to A Shot of Country. Again, my name is Keith Williams, and be sure and check out more videos coming up. This is our first video, okay? And so we're going to have some more coming up fairly often, hopefully, and get these out to you. And if you have requests of some albums you'd like us to talk about, tell you about, then please let us know. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.